Welcome back to my channel. Thanks to all my subscribers out there. Thank you for those who are liking, sharing, and commenting on my video. Welcome back, sir. Welcome back, ma'am. So this is very interesting. Tim Scott threw his hat into the GOP presidential race. And I do think this is very interesting because I think there is a surprise going to happen with this, action or this announcement. So let's watch this video from NBC.
This morning, there's new competition headed Donald Trump's way in the race for the GOP nomination. The newest presidential candidate, the Senate's only black Republican, South Carolina's Tim Scott, kicking off his 2024 White House bid in his hometown of North Charleston today.
Kids are growing up immersed in a culture where everyone's a victim.
The 57-year-old senator is expected to focus on his deep Christian faith and his hard-scrabble upbringing in South Carolina.
I thank God Almighty that my grandfather, who was forced out of school as a third grader to start picking cotton to help his family, lived long enough to watch his grandson pick out a seat in Congress.
That's right.
Scott has been the GOP's leading voice on issues including policing and race relations while rejecting the idea that the country is racist.
That's right.
And he's reached across the aisle with friends including Democratic Senator Cory Booker.
I think that as I look at this Republican field, he may be one of those people that is underestimated.
With former President Donald Trump leading the GOP race, Scott joins an increasingly crowded lane of anti-Trump candidates, including his fellow South Carolinian, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, and former Vice President Mike Pence expected to announce shortly, along with the possibility of former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie also entering the race. And according to two sources, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis set to officially announce his campaign this week as he sharpens his attacks on Trump, blaming him for a lackluster midterms.
I think the party has developed a culture of losing.
It comes as DeSantis faces multiple battles back in his home state, including that ongoing feud with Disney. And now, the NAACP issuing a formal travel advisory saying Florida is hostile to black Americans. The group responding to what it calls DeSantis's aggressive attempts to erase black history and to restrict diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in Florida schools. Earlier this year, DeSantis blocked an advanced placement course in African American studies from being offered at Florida high schools. Okay, so we reached out to Governor DeSantis and his office on that NAACP travel advisory. We have yet to hear back. Savannah?
All right, well, former President Trump, of course, is leading the field. Most polls show that. How much of a gap do the other candidates need to have a chance, and are they just going to split the non-Trump vote? That's how it played out in 2016, and he was victorious.
Yeah, the more people that announce, no doubt, help former President Trump. If you look at the most recent polls, they tell the same story. This is really a two-person race, but one of the most recent polls shows just how far ahead former President Trump is. You can see he's ahead of ahead of Governor DeSantis by more than 40 points in this poll. So how does somebody like Senator Tim Scott, who's in the single digits, break away? He's raised a significant amount of money. They're going to go up with ads in Iowa and New Hampshire. The Iowa caucuses recently have favored the Christian-centric candidate on the GOP side when there's an open primary like this, so that favors Scott. But then the race moves here to South Carolina. The only problem is former Governor Nikki Haley is also in the race as well, so it's going to be a challenge. And Savannah, a programming note, NBC News tonight has the first sit-down.
So this is what I think. I think this is going to be an interesting race for the GOP. And the main thing that I want to highlight is when Tim Scott announced his run, Trump sent out a tweet on Truth Social, and he congratulated him and said that he thinks he hopes he's gonna do well. Now, you're hearing this from me first, okay? What I think is gonna happen is I think Trump and Mr. Scott are gonna team up. That's just my idea. I think that Scott is in it just to get a feel of how the GOP will gravitate towards him, because at this point Trump doesn't have a vice president to run with. So out of all the people that are going to run against him for the main presidential role, he's going to choose one out of them. And I know for sure he's not going to choose Florida's governor because of all the back and forth they've been having all this while. The only person he's been really pleasant about in his tweets and his speeches is Scott. And that's just what I think. I don't know what you think, but hey, go ahead and put your comments and your thoughts in the comment section. And go ahead and like, comment, and share on this video.